Hello, gentle viewers. This is Out Guardian welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 23 with the Houston Astros. We are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're beginning our 8th season with the Astros. And it's hard to call it a rousing success. Like, we've gotten them to a point where they can be consistently good, but we haven't gotten to the point where they can make the playoffs regularly. And there's a bunch of reasons for that, but perhaps the most important reason is simply the fact that we just don't have the best possible offense, we'll say. You come back, and you come back. And I think our policy of settling for pretty good is holding us back from getting genuinely great. And that's something we have to fix. We have to get, somehow, some way, we have to get a big-time bat in this lineup. No matter what it costs. I need somebody who can make the whole rest of this lineup gel together and be one of the best in the big leagues, as it could be. And so, as a quick recap, to that end, we're really hoping to get an elite catcher in this draft. And there's definitely some good ones. If we look at the draft pool, there's Steve Yeager, Bob Boone, and Glenn Borgman. All of whom range from brilliant to merely very good defensively, and are all fairly accomplished hitters. That's one route. The other route is to get big-time power, and for our purposes, that's Charlie Spikes. No matter what else he brings to the table, he does bring elite power. And that's something we just don't have right now. We have presently, if we look at batting ratings, exactly one player with a power level above 56 rather, which is Tommy Aggie. Even in the 1970s, that's not good enough. We need at least one more power threat, in my opinion, to make the rest of this lineup the best version of itself. So that being said, a lot's going to depend on who is still left when we actually get to draft. I kind of wish we'd tanked a bit more this season. I thought about doing something like that, but ultimately decided against it. I kind of wish I hadn't. But we're going to see who's available to us. Matthew Duncan, you want to be their general manager. I will give you a new job with a shinier contract. Jerry Adair is Matt. A gold glove for Jimmy Pags and Joe Morgan and Clete Boyer. That's pretty okay. I've got to say, I don't mind having a good defensive shortstop. Even if he can't hit his way out of a wet paper bag, nonetheless, it's still good to see that we have some reasonably talented players. I'm here for that. Really? Nothing for Cy Young, huh? Oh, I guess not. I guess it wasn't that good. I'm a little surprised that Tim Foley didn't do better, especially since Tim Foley played the whole year and Ben Ogilvy didn't. But I guess finishing second is reasonable. Did I get any votes? I got Joe Morgan got a couple of down ballot votes. I'm not too surprised. We weren't very good. We were only 82 and 80. I didn't expect us to have too many individual awards. Frankly, for us, we got 3 Gold Gloves. I assumed that we'd be shut out almost entirely. Okay. No and no. Just no. I'm not saying that a second baseman might not be a smart idea, because then we can move fully to shortstop or something, but you're offering me, like, genuinely not good players. Like, Denny Doyle is merely devastatingly average, and that just doesn't do it for me. Alright, who we got? Jim Bagby, I believe in you, even if I don't believe you'll actually make the Hall of Fame. The man called Hoot is most certainly a Hall of Famer. I don't think there's any disputing that. I'll vote for Dave Ferris, too. Tommy Gioviano, I don't think so. I think the Hall is full of players of his caliber or better. I don't think we need more. Gil Hodges is a really nice guy, or was apparently, so I get that. But I really don't see why he's in the Hall of Fame. I really don't. You're maybe giving Mester credit for being a good manager, and that I can respect. But, like, his Hall of Fame numbers just don't hold up. Like, if you look at his real-life stats here, he's okay. But he's certainly not the kind of player where you're like, that is a definite Hall of Famer. I will again vote for Eddie Yost. I'll toss Buddy Kerr some love. This is just not an amazing group of guys, other than Hoot Evers, obviously. I'll vote for Pee Wee again. He's bound to get in one of these years. You gotta love a man named Bear Trax. Kurt Simmons really turned out quite well. Quite well indeed. I'll vote for Snuffy. And Bobby Thompson. Alright, let us submit the ballot and move on from there. I'm not saying Gil Hodges is a terrible player. I'm just saying that first base is pretty stacked in the Hall of Fame. And I don't think anybody would put him in the top 10 of first baseman all time. I don't think that's possible. I know he played some third base too, but I don't remember hearing anything about him being anything special at third. If you're a fan of the Dodgers in the 60s and 70s, I get it. Or, when did he play for the Dodgers? I don't remember. Anyway. Yeah, I just don't see it. I don't see... Other than just being a genuinely nice guy who kept getting close to being elected but never getting elected, I respect that. And the fact he was a pretty good manager too, so it's a bit like Joe Torre. Where it's a pretty solid player, but not all-time great. Boy, I would shit a brick if Mike Schmidt fell to me at 13. I'm not stupid. I know it's not going to happen. But wouldn't that be something? Let's see who does fall to me. Okay. Jack Brohammer. No. So Gary Thomason has a lot going for him. The problem is, I've already got plenty of Gary Thomasons on my team. I've already got high contact hitters that play reasonably good defense and have reasonably good power. I've got plenty of these. We've got Steve Yeager. I know Steve Yeager isn't an exceptional catcher, but he's a pretty decent one. That certainly got some value. But Charlie Spikes fell. And I need a big-time power bat in this lineup. I have to have it. I don't think there's another choice here. I wish there was just one more hitter with good power left in the draft, but I guess there's Dave Roberts. Gross. Gosh. Gary Thomason is so damn good, though. This really has me in a pickle. Like, Gary Thomason is Tony Oliva, but way better. Like, there's no disputing that he would be a significant upgrade. Jimmy Pags is a 0 with the bat. Damn it, game. So Steve Yeager's going to be boom or bust. That is the nature of his offensive skill set. He'll draw walks, he'll hit for an okay average, but if he's not hitting home runs at a decent clip, he's not going to be the best player he could be. Gary Thomason is just so bloody good. Hug. Why must you torture me, game? I don't want to take him, but I need an impact bat. And as much as I love Charlie Spikes' raw power, the fact is, Thomason is just better. Like, hitting 30 homers, but hitting 230 is not as good in 1971. When I could get a guy who hits 300 regularly, I think we do it. Oh, I want Steve Yeager, though. Game. I'm taking Thomason. I have to do it. I think this is the right call. Wait. Thomason is acceptable against left-handed pitching. I will make this work. Gary Thomason, welcome to the Astros. And that was the risk. That was the risk. I lost a chance at either Yeager or the other guy. And Vic Coral just sucks. Yeah, I could get Dave Roberts, but he's only power. Like, I would have just taken Charlie Spikes if I was going to take something like that. Another starting pitcher isn't a terrible idea, so I think we'll go with that. Man, I hope I don't regret passing on Charlie Spikes. Yeah, I don't really care about the rest of these guys. Do what you want. Thomason seems like such a good choice, though. I think I had to make that choice. I think that was where I was kind of trapped. I'm just curious, when did Mike Schmidt... He went number 1 overall. Yeah. I feel reasonably good, though, about my choice to stick with Thomason. I think that's the right call. Especially because now I can trade Oliva. Or I can just keep Oliva on the bench in case there's an injury. That's an equally fair decision here. As second baseman go, Jimmy Stewart isn't terrible. He's an okay defender. He's okay at getting on base. He's hardly a brilliant hitter. But, like, okay, let's move Foley over to shortstop. Great. Is Stewart better than Boyer? And I think the answer to that question is no. I definitely think the answer to that question is no. Who we got in the Rule 5? Bruce Look. I don't hate this. You're a really good defender who gets on base at a pretty solid clip. That sounds like a decent catcher to me. Done. I will bring you aboard, and I will probably trade Buck Martinez. Or maybe Jimmy Pags, but... No, Buck Martinez actually deserves at least some kind of chance to see if he can hit consistently at the major league level. What could I get for Jimmy Pags? Okay, what do I want right now? What would make me happy? I feel good about starting pitcher. I don't feel great, but I feel good about it. I think we've got enough interesting pitchers, both in the minors and on the major league roster. I could probably trade a starter if I could get the right piece, but I don't want to make any trades until I see how Mike Caldwell heals and how the rest of this works out. I'm okay with Tim Foley staying at second for now. I think what we got out of him is just fine. We really just need health and depth, in all honesty. So the question is, do I trade Tony Oliva, thus opening up a spot for Gary Thomason? And if so, who do I trade for? Like, we could definitely use that big-time thumper, but I don't know what position we'd look for him at. Right? I don't see it. I mean, maybe we trade Joe Morgan? But I mean... Like, Joe Morgan is not a guaranteed Hall of Famer, but he's definitely on that path. He's super young still. Talk to me in 7 years when if he's pushing 70 wins or 80, we might see the Hall of Fame out of him. Maybe we just on-base them to death. Maybe that's our path forward. Like, Tony Oliva seems like a luxury. He truly does. But we've seen how often we get burned when we get too thin at outfielder. And even if Thomason doesn't start day one, although I think he would start day one if we just move Oliva to the bench. Yeah, I don't really see what trading any of our players would get us. A better shortstop, maybe. Because Cleve Boyer is certainly not winning any batting titles, unless it's title of worst batter. But is there even a good shortstop available on the trade block, for instance? I don't think that there is. Yeah, Duke Sims, you're not actually a catcher, or I'd strongly consider it. Wayne Kwasi. So let's examine the shortstop. Yeah, and we're getting to the point where it's like, yes, Bob Savarini is a better hitter than Cleve Boyer, but so am I. And I struck out 10 times playing softball. So, unless I find someone I want and go out and get them, and anyone that's that bloody good, I don't know, guys. Let me look for a shortstop. Minimum quality good. And that's the only thing I'm concerned about. And let's see what kind of offers this gets me. Because that's the real area to make gains, right? Is either, I'll also add catcher. A top-tier catcher or a top-tier shortstop probably gets this team over the hump. The question is, who, if anyone, will have one of those things to trade and also be willing to trade them to me? Evers and Sternweiss both made it. Poor Jim Bagby Jr. He did his best. He did his best. Why? Look, I'm not saying Tom Hutton is anything special, because he ain't. But what does Billy Consuelo offer me? Offers me a good defensive second baseman, granted, who gets on base at a decent clip. But he's basically Cleve Boyer, but not as good at playing shortstop. I don't see the benefit there. Nope, Ken Boswell doesn't do it for me. If I'm going to trade, I want someone quite good. I just have to be kind of choosy. That's what's going to make or break this team. I have to be choosy. I don't trade for the sake of trading because I don't have enough depth for that. I might at starting pitcher. I'm certainly not far off of that from starting pitcher. Would Bill Russell be a good player for us? I like him better than Cleve Boyer. But why would the Angels give him up? That's my question. We can try. Yeah. It's not happening. We're not getting Cleve Boyer. Bill Freehan? Not interested. You'd never give me Thurman Munson. I mean, I'll try, but I don't see this as being a possibility. Like, even let's say I offered you Joe Morgan, just as a starting point. Yeah. And that's why I don't like the team needs. Like, I would like it to be a bit more selective. Like, tell me players that wouldn't automatically just be... You're delusional, right? Chris Spire would absolutely make us a better club. I feel pretty strongly that he would make an excellent shortstop. Again, why would Cleveland ever consider trading him to me? It just doesn't make sense. Let's say Tony Oliva. No. Joe Morgan. Yeah, that's the issue, right? These are the kinds of players that teams just don't give up. They don't. And so that is what does create a bit of an issue. Game, go ahead and set up all the things. And do the same here. We'll go 6 men. Okay. You're fucking delusional. Oh my god, or are they? Am I seriously thinking of giving up Don Sutton? Oh my gosh. What could I give you that's not Don Sutton? Sutton or Jenkins? What if I offered you Tony Oliva? That doesn't move the needle. Joe Morgan. That moves the needle slightly. That opens up a hole at first base. But Joe Torre is just so damn good. Right? Like, he is legitimately an elite hitter at a premium position. Joe Morgan's been so good to us. He really has. If I trade Don Sutton, do I think the rest of the rotation is good enough? What if I offered you just Baldwin? Morgan, Jenkins, Sutton. And I offer you Jimmy Pag, so you have a catcher to replace him. That reduces the offer, okay. I like Joe Morgan a lot. And he has been an incredible hitter for us. But first basemen aren't that hard to find. Catchers are. Especially legitimately fantastic catchers. Alright, what if I gave you Sutton? What else do you have that I might make this an even better deal for me? Mark Bellinger? And what if I offered you... What would I have to get Bellinger to? I'd have to give you Ferguson Jenkins. That ain't happening. I ain't that desperate. Man, Don Sutton has been such a good pitcher. Ugh. But Joe Torre is a massive upgrade. He gives us the power bat we don't have. He's an outstanding catcher. I'm going to give him Baldwin and Morgan. I'd rather give them up than Sutton. That's what this comes down to. Morgan and Baldwin, done. Final answer. Can I get Bellinger if I give you Morgan and Baldwin? No. Could I get Norm Cash? Oh. Yeah, you can have Nettles. So that gets us a big-time power bat at first base, an elite hitter at catcher, and while we are losing Joe Morgan, we're upgrading 2 spots in our lineup. Well, Cash is just different from Morgan. He's not necessarily better than Morgan, but he's good enough, right? Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm sorry, fans, but I think this makes us a better team. I truly believe this makes us a much, much better team. What the hell? There we go. What is going on? Oh, is my 40... No, my 40-man's not full. Why are you being weird, game? Give me my damn players. And then regenerate the lineup, please. That just feels right. That just feels so right. Keeping Jimmy Pags isn't doing me any favors. Let's trade him. Maybe get a shortstop? No, no. That one's already named after me. Neither player thrills me, but neither one is disappointing, and I'm done with Jimmy Pags, so... Sorry, fans. I don't need to carry an overpaid backup catcher. Alright, so I'm going to go into my team needs. Am I going to regret losing Joe Morgan? I might, but I don't think I will. I think we're a better team with Joe Torre and Norm Cash than Dave Baldwin and Joe Morgan. Yeah, I think that was the right call. No? Okay. Zoilo Versailles or Versailles, no problem. I'm good with that. I'm not giving you Tim Foley. I'm just not. Like, you want Mike Caldwell and Lou Blitner? Yes. That's another big time upgrade. Like, yes, he's not a brilliant hitter, but he doesn't have to be to just be better than. Why does this keep happening? Why are you not putting him on the active roster? There we go. Yeah, he doesn't have to be brilliant. He just has to be a better hitter than Clete Boyer. And then I can offer you up for a prospect package. Nobody wants to trade for you, that's fine. I will hang on to you in case injuries happen. Yeah, I got what I wanted, guys. I got all my team needs handled. I need to use that feature more often. I am reasonably happy with my acquisitions. We'll miss him for a few days. That's fine. Yeah, good for Cardinal. Okay, so first things first, I have 16 pitchers. I don't need 16 pitchers. Nobody needs 16 pitchers. I'm going to get rid of 4 of them. Ricky Clark can go. Joe Niekro can go. Don Dennis can go. Oof, Jim O'Toole just got a whole lot worse. I'm damn glad I didn't trade Don Sutton now. Oh, do some velocity. That'll do it. I wonder if Jim O'Toole will take a demotion. No. I'm going to send down Broberg. I want him to start and build up his ability to do that rather than waste his time as a reliever. Putting down to 12 pitchers, perfect. We're going to rock a 5-man rotation, not 6, with Jenkins and Sutton up top. Then Jerry Roos, Paul Splitorf, and Jim O'Toole. Fred Wenz, I need a backup starter. Man, Ricky Clark just cannot be eliminated. He is immortal. There we go. Alright. I'm not carrying 4 catchers. So long, Jeff Torborg. I'll just wave you. I'm going to send Buck Martinez to the minors and let Bruce Look be the backup. For now, Tom Hutton can go to the minors. Dicky Boy, I don't know what skills he may have offered at one point. You no longer do. And let's send down Steve Hovley and Bobby Brooks. Thus leaving a space for one Ricky Clark to be the emergency starter if we need one. Okay, with Dave Baldwin gone, the critical question is, who is our very best reliever? It's Horacio Pena. So you're going to be the stopper. And then everyone else does the middle relief thing. Dane McGinn, I'm going to make you a lefty specialist. It's not the worst use of the bullpen, and everyone else can just, like, do their thing. Okay, lean oops. Alright. So first things first, the best hitter on this team is indeed Joe Torre. As we talked about in the other series, there's a good question on whether he should be hitting second to take advantage of his incredible skill. But I've got Tommy Agee, who's almost as good in a lot of ways, or even Gary Thomason or Jose Cardinal. I've got plenty of other players that could bat second, so I think Joe Torre hitting third makes sense. So who's leadoff and who hits second? I think Cardinal hits leadoff and Thomason hits second. I think that seems good. I mean, Cardinal, up until last season, always got on base at a decent clip. Thomason looks like he's going to be a really good hitter. Batting cleanup will be Tommy Agee. Then Norm Cash. Then Rich Rollins. Tim Foley's got some upside left to his game. I'm going to bat him above Zoilo Versalles and see how that works. And that's your starting lineup. 3 brand new starters. Actually, 4 new starters that weren't even on the team last year. In Thomason, Torrey, Cash, and Versalles. Or Versailles. Tony Oliva then becomes the league's most overpaid pinch hitter and backup. Archie Moore is going to be our center fielder. Backup. Mr. Rich McKinney backs up at third. Boyer backs up at second and short. Oliva can back up at first. And Bruce Look backs up at catcher. I trust absolutely nobody in this team to be a pinch hitter other than Tony Oliva. But I am going to name McKinney and Moore as my others. Clete Boyer is pretty fast, so I think he will be a fine pinch runner. And this is what we're going to do as our lineup. Okay. A lot is riding on the shoulders of Mr. Thomason here. He kind of has to be at least a somewhat close to Joe Morgan replacement, but I think he can handle it. And Cardinal's got a pretty good track record of being a plus base runner, a good hitter, and an overall worthwhile player. I could bet Aggie second, but I like having his power a bit lower in the lineup, where he can really do some damage. And then Norm Cash, I'm expecting huge things of. I got to get that 30 homers we've been craving for a while now. Rollins could hit second, I guess, if I don't want to trust Thomason, but I do think Thomason is worthy of our trust. Okay. Let us play some baseball, my friends. Oops. Good call, game. Very good call. I forgot to add him to the roster. There you go. Yeah, I'm not giving up Tim Foley right now, so you can stop. Ed Goodson. I remember that name. Doyle Alexander was a decent starter for the Tigers for a while. Well, he was only picked for the Tigers at the end of his career. Oh god, he was awful at that point. How is he minus 11 WAR? What the hell? This has to be a glitch in the system. That's the only explanation. Like, there is no way he is a minus 200 WAR guy. That's funny. That's got to be a glitch in the system. Like, I get it, his ERAs were never great, but he still strikes some of those above replacement level. That's funny. That's really funny. Oh, that makes me giggle. Tee-hee. I do. I sure do. Hey, Dick. Nobody's gonna want you, so goodbye. Thanks for playing. Don't forget to write, etc., etc. Wow, guys. Wow. How the hell does a shortstop tear his labrum? My stars. Hey, Rafael Robles. Welcome to the majors. And Clete Boyer gets his job back, because I definitely don't have anybody better than that. That's weird, right? That a shortstop would tear their labrum? Was he, like, pitching for fun on the weekends? Maybe. I mean, I'll deal with it. That's what good teams do, but that is kind of a kick to the junk. I've got to say. Getting shut out a bunch isn't a great look. Damn, Jim O'Toole. Okay. Yeah, we're just getting shut out all over the damn place. That is so bizarre. That is so bizarre. He's looking good. Okay. Broberg struck out 17 in the minors. He's already started 17 games. That's fine. I don't know why the game does this. Why it says, oh, Broberg must start, therefore everyone is a starter now. Brent Storm, you're a starter too. Maybe this will at least stop us from, like, pitching people's arms off. And let's keep going. Like, when I go look at statistics right now, there's not going to be anything useful for me, so I'm just going to keep going. Because getting shut out every 3 days seems pretty unrealistic. There we go, 4 shutouts in, like, 6 days. That's the good stuff right there. Build hands. I don't know why I made that voice, but I did. Can't go back on it now. And another shutout. Big news, everyone. Good news, everyone. I'm a horse's butt. I am? Well, that's not good news at all. Anyway. So. Okay. Some things are going really, really tremendously well. We got the thump from Norm Cash and Tommy Aggie and Joe Torre. Jose Cardinal, fantastic season. Gary Thomason, not so much. Mr. Thomason is struggling. Which is, I guess, fair. I mean, he is a rookie. They don't all become megastars the moment at the league. Tim Foley's not doing so good. We need to see him turn it around a bit. And then Clete Boyer sucks, but we kind of knew about that going in. It's why we traded for a new shortstop. Yeah, we've got a pretty darn good team. As it turns out. I am going to make one relatively important adjustment. I'm going to put Rich Rollins, have him at second, and let Thomason hit sixth. And we're going to see what that accomplishes. We're going to see if getting a better hitter in front of Joe Torre gets him more opportunities to drive in big-time hitters. So, we're just going to keep on keeping on. I don't really see any reason to change anything else. I don't think there's another obvious target for a place to upgrade. I can certainly check the trade block and see if there's anybody exciting, but I don't really think there will be. I don't hate Veda Pinson, but I don't have anywhere to play him either. And once again, only objectively bad shortstops are on the market, so we'll see what happens here. A sprained ankle for 3 weeks is quite unfortunate. We're just gonna sit tight though, and we're gonna let Robles pick up the slack there because I don't really have another guy. Jim O'Toole got hurt. It sounds like it's Pete Broberg's time to shine. I need some Pete Broberg in my life. There we go. Yeah, I'm not going to trade you, Oliva. I like what you offer me, which is an elite backup. And you're hitting well enough that I have no reason to trade you. Absolutely none. We're going to miss 2 weeks with Joe Torre. That's not going to help our chances very much, but we'll just deal with it. Okay. You're offering me John Lowenstein. Lowenstein's not that great. He's good. But he's not that great. And I'm not giving up what you want for him. So I will politely but firmly decline your offer. Oh my god, would you stop injuring my players, game? Like, what the shit? You guys gotta frickin' stretch out your hammies, my guys. Ooh, neat. Alright, scouting director, I'm pretty happy with you. I don't see a lot of benefit in letting you walk, so I will bring you back for an extension. Nick Thiemann, yeah, I'm not keeping you. I will find a new team trainer. Ray Stovac is pretty solid. I think bringing him back makes some sense. And we'll offer all the minor league guys a chance to stay. There we go. Let's keep going. Norm, you're hitting 5th. Oh my god. Some of the things that these people complain about is just bonkers. You're hitting 5th. That's the middle. It's not like I'm benching you. You're playing every damn day. Quit your belly aching. Christ. So Horacio Pena is not doing great as our reliever. Alright. Is there anything we could acquire to move the needle? I could bench Thomason and let Oliva play every day. Thing is, Oliva's kind of playing every day already. He's hitting really well, too. Do I just give Oliva the keys? Since he's hitting so well? I mean, he's not getting 363 the whole season. That would be ridiculous if he were to do that. Tim Foley's nothing special, but he's nothing terrible either. He's a good enough second baseman that we're not really hurt by him playing the field. I mean, a big-time starting pitcher might be in order. Someone to replace Broberg. Because, I mean, Broberg just walks everybody, which is obviously not ideal. Wow, literally every decent starting pitcher is... No? Gaylord Perry might be available. Like, I'd love to get Pat Jarvis or Phil Niekro, but that's not going to happen in either case. What would Gaylord Perry cost me? Very little. I'm going to trade Broberg. I'd rather have Perry, who is as good as Broberg, but he's good right now. Whereas, we're going to be waiting a while for Broberg to be as good as Perry. So there we go. So here's an important question. I am bringing Fred Wentz back, by the way. He's going to be a middle reliever. We're going to tell him to use him more often. But here's an important question. Is there a scenario where we can upgrade this team significantly at a relatively low cost? Tommy Aggie ain't hitting that well. Instead of returning to his 1970 season, he's declining relative to his 1971 season, which is not great. Yeah, our top three hitters are all pretty solid, but then Cash's power isn't good enough. In all honesty, I would ideally want like a 450 or even 500 slugging percentage. I don't think it'll take much for him to get hot, but I am concerned at the moment. I am concerned. Let's keep going. I don't think that there's anybody I could trade for that would make a difference. Wow, you really want to keep giving me Ken Boswell. No, Atlanta. I don't want him. I would like you to not. Please. We get Jim O'Toole back. That's lovely. Let's let him be emergency starter, long reliever, because why not? I've got the roster spot. Try to keep the arms nice and tight throughout the season. Who do we got? Well, Jenkins and Sutton are all-stars. Joe Torre is an all-star. You moved Joe Morgan back to second. That's interesting. And that's it. I mean, I guess I could have just moved Joe Morgan back to second, but trust me, without what's his face? Without Joe Torre, I don't even think we're as good as we are this season. I really don't. Sherry Adair. Nope. Like, I don't need a mediocre... I don't need a mediocre second baseman. I've already got one of those. And he might become better. Oh my god, dude. Quit offering players that aren't good. Savarine is, at best, a backup. I am not giving you anything of value for him. So y'all can just shut the hell up. Paul Toth is literally the worst. Alright. Yeah, I think we just keep going for right now. Thomason has a decent OPS. He's just not hitting consistently. Is Oliva still crushing it? Oliva's doing terrible, terrible things to baseballs. I gotta compromise. Oliva, you're gonna start against right-handed pitching. And Thomason's gonna be a backup. And our number one pinch hitter. We're only out of the playoffs by one game at this point. We need to push it, and that means, frankly, starting Oliva every day, I think, until he proves he can't do it anymore. That makes our bench that much deeper, and it takes some of the pressure off of Thomason, where he can still be a very valuable contributor, even if he's not starting every day. So I think that's reasonable. Let's move on into August. Jim O'Toole loses some velocity. Cool story. Let's advance. I just hit a little itty bitty hot streak, and I need you to stop injuring my goddamn pitchers. Just don't. Cool. So O'Toole gets back into the rotation, which is not what I was hoping for. And we'll just keep going like this. Sigh. I'm not saying we can't make the playoffs, but we gotta start getting hot. And that's the problem, right? We've just been so lukewarm the entire bloody season. Like, we gotta kick it into gear, guys. We gotta start winning games. Like, look, I get it. The Dodgers are way scary. They've got Mickey Mantle and Larry Heil. But, come on, guys. That's no reason we can't overcome them. I need my damn big-time hitters to hit like big-time hitters. Well, the fucking Dodgers are going to the playoffs again. Like, we only finished 2 games out of first. That's not terrible. But it sure isn't good either. Like, we brought in a lot of talent, and we only got better by 3 wins. Maybe 4, depending on how the season finale goes. See you later, Lindy. I literally don't even remember who you are. I mean, sure, losing Zoilo definitely had an impact. I bet if we had him the whole time, we would have been a pretty solid team. Like, I know we would have, but... Oh, my pitching coach retired. That's annoying. I got a new contract, though. That's cool. Lee Rogers isn't that good, so let's bring in... We'd really like somebody who's anything. Controlling or personable would make some waves here. And what are you? You're temperamental. You're such a damn good pitching coach that I'll just deal with it. Alright, team trainer. Give me trainer ratings. It's a lot harder than it used to be in terms of getting team trainers who are just brilliant at everything. That's probably intentional. I think we're gonna pick Manny Zendejas here. That seems solid. So what did go well this season? I mean, Joe Torre, mission accomplished. We brought him in to be the centerpiece of our offense, and he did exactly that. Worth noting, he's not going to be as available as other players because he's a catcher. So we could always move him to first if we can get another good catcher at some point. But for now, I'm pretty happy with what he gave us. I don't like how Tommy Aggie's trending in the wrong direction. Like, I get it. He's a brilliant center fielder and a pretty good base runner. And so that's going to keep his value nice and high. I don't like this. I don't like this skill set. I need more out of him. Norm Cash was good. Could have gotten more. Not that annoyed, though. He was an incredibly productive guy. Want to get some more power out of him, but I'm okay with that. Jose Cardinal started to slip. Maybe not the best option as a leadoff guy. Rich Rollins continues to be a very productive player. Tony Oliva did in fact have a pretty solid season. That's very legit. Clete Boyer did Clete Boyer things again. Tim Foley regressed kind of hard. Like, I'm not saying he was awful, but this is not what he should look like in his finished form. We got to get more out of Tim Foley. Garrett Thomason had an okay season. We need more out of him, too, if we're going to be a productive team. I mean, two of my backups were god-awful, but... Like, here's the thing, though. We finished third in batting WAR. And while I can definitely see better seasons from a couple of these guys... I don't really see an obvious way to get dramatically better again. Other than just drafting a really talented player in the draft. I think our pitching's too thin. I really think pitching became an issue for us toward the end of the season. When you got Sutton and Jenkins at the top of your rotation, good things are going to happen. But our second-line starters weren't good enough. They didn't carry enough of the load. And that's unfortunate. Gross. Brent Strom is my secret weapon. Oh dear. So... I think pitching needs to get better. I need another horse behind Sutton and Jenkins. It seems like I've been asking for that now for several seasons. Gaylord Perry was alright. Maybe not brilliant, but alright. Bruce Look did a good job as backup catcher. He had more walks than hits, but that's not nothing. So how do we get better? Couple of ways. Way number one, we just stay healthy. A healthy Zoilo Versailles, or Versailles, if you're a fan of his, let me know how they say his name. It should be Versailles, or Versailles. It'll be Versailles, most likely, but I will listen to your arguments otherwise. Like, he'd be better than Boyer. He's almost as good defensively and is much, much better offensively. That would help, having him for a full season. Tommy Aggie reversing this trend of just not hitting for contact anymore. Reversing that would be a big deal, but it's more likely to go the other direction, right? Maybe Jose Cardinal is the weakest link, and we find a way to upgrade from him. Maybe that's letting Thomason play in left. Maybe that's pushing Oliva back to left. I don't know what the answer is there, but I need more offense out of my left fielder. Good player. I've gotten a lot out of him. I need more. I just need more. The good news is I think it would be almost impossible to say that any player did as well as they ever possibly could. Maybe Joe Torre is due for a bit of a letdown. But I see even bigger seasons based on past perspectives and just overall talent. Maybe not Norm Cash. Norm Cash is already 37 years old. He's not getting any younger. Who do we have to look forward to in the draft? Is there anybody in the draft, God, we're picking 15th again, that could change our fortunes, turn us around, and make us a dominating team? All players, please. I mean, there's a whole lot of top-tier hitters, exactly none of which will fall to me. Like, let's be realistic here. There ain't no way in hell anybody from Dwight Evans down to Greg Gross make it to me. If we're lucky, Andre Thornton. And Andre Thornton isn't a day one improvement. He's a season or two later on improvement. I would literally throat punch somebody to get a player like a Dwight Evans, like a Dave Winfield. I would love nothing more than to get one of those players. They're just not going to be there by the time I pick. I'm telling you this much right now. If I get down to the 15th pick and this is all I can pick from, really? You really like Steve Ontiveros that well? I'm not saying you might not be right, but I'm saying that's, I guess. Really? Because I gotta be honest, if this is what's left by the time I'm drafting, I'm probably taking a pitcher. Like, I know it isn't an incredible draft for starting pitching, but Frank Tanana and Dick Ruthven and Randy Jones. They're not terrible. They're not bad players. I mean, obviously, I would be over the moon if we got George Brett. We ain't getting George Brett. He's going to go first overall, I bet. Yeah, there's some really good players here. No shortstops, alas. I would probably seriously consider Andre Thornton if he fell to me at 15. But it's not like he would have a starting spot on day one, and I kind of feel like I have to get somebody that can do that, which means I'm probably thinking outfielder. Bake McBride. A Dave Winfield would be an awfully good fit on this team. I could really get behind Dave Winfield if he were to become available to me. Who does OSA thinks ends up with Dave Winfield? What? OSA thinks Dave Winfield falls to the second round? Okay, I've got to be losing my mind, right? No, they say he goes first overall. I don't see that happening. Ken Griffey on the Reds feels right, though. Yeah, this is how the draft shook out. I'd probably not take Ontiveros. Like, as much as I think he's a good hitter and a good first baseman, I just don't see it. I don't see him starting over Norm Cash. Right? Like Dick Sharon, Bill Sharp, Phil Garner, Charlie Moore, Bucky Dent. Dent's an okay shortstop, but he's not a great one. Bucky fucking Dent. I'd probably go pitcher. If I get down to 15 and there isn't one of the really good outfielders waiting for me, I'd probably go pitcher. Jerry Hairston would be an interesting player to have on the team. Like, there's a lot of better than average outfielders in this draft. But, look, would I take Jerry Hairston over, say, Frank Tanana? No. I need another starter. I need another starting pitcher who can elevate the team if I need them to. Yeah, I just need better pitching. Unless I can get a player in the lineup to replace Cardinal. And that should be doable. Like, Jose Cardinal is just a really competent baseball player. He's not the end-all, be-all. And maybe the replacement for Jose Cardinal is just starting Thomason again. Because Thomason still got boatloads of possibilities. There's a lot to be found there. But anyways, I'm really curious to see what you all think, especially think I made a mistake trading Joe Morgan. I definitely don't think I did. I think Tori Aloma's worth the price of admission, and Norm Cash has just been icing on the cake. But I am curious to hear what y'all think about that trade. Until next time, my friends, I want to thank you all for watching. But until then, this has been Outguardian, and I bid you good day.